Good morning folks, and welcome back into the canistels now. I've been down the middle of all the others. This is the last one to go down the middle just to open it up, and then need to take off the tall things because they just power away. If the wind gets hold of them, they'll break anyway. See if I can find it in a minute, but they are beginning to flower at the moment. So got the battery pruners on my extension pole. That little red button there is how you activate the jaws to open and close. Just saves constantly stretching up. Quite handy actually. We've done the down the middle. I've done the far side, top and opening up a little bit. So now it's this side. Let's go. Quick tidy up. Might seem a bit of a pain, but I do throw all the prunings underneath. It suppresses the weeds. It's organic matter going back in. Don't like to leave it out on the grass because it'll just kill the grass, and then you've got risk of soil erosion and the likes. So quickly throw this under, and then on to the next and the next and the next and the next and the next. Couple of things to be aware of. One, you can get a little bit carried away because it's so easy to prune using these. Just a simple press of a button and you're away. And the other thing is, if you've got anything on trellising, this will cut through the wire if you're not careful. So you've got to be aware of the wires, and yeah, sometimes I'll use hand pruners rather than these if I'm really close to the wire, because it'll cut the wire. That's high tensile, and boom, that'll spring. And the other thing is that it will actually, I damaged one set of pruners because it just left a little notch in, and it's really hard to get rid of it. There's an awful lot of grinding to do. So yeah, just be a little bit careful. So this is our little charging station here for the batteries, and because we've finished with our pruning, that goes in there. That's actually charging now. But if I put my finger in here, there, and that's a little snowflake sign, and as I understand it, that kind of winterizes the battery. So if it's been stored, or I think transported, I'm not sure, but certainly if it's going to be stored for a while, you winterize it. Anyway, it's supposed to preserve the longevity of the battery. That'll be winterized. Clean the pruners, oil the pruners, get them all clean, spiffo, or fairly spiffo, as best as I can. The problem is the sap that comes off a lot of these tropical fruit trees, but it builds up, so I'll scrape the worst of it off, then alcohol, give it a good cleaning, and then just a bit of, I think it's Mako, it's like a fish oil thing, so it isn't a chemical oil. And put that to one side until we start pruning again in maybe another 6 weeks. Now it's time to give the pruners a good clean up. A lot of tropical fruit trees have this sap and it just builds up, and it's quite thick. It's almost like tar. Like I say, you can literally cut the stuff off. Oops. I've got to try and get that knife back in the knife drawer without Angela noticing that I've borrowed it, really. And then once everything is as clean as I can get it, the blade I'll give a good sharpening. They do a lot of work. I mean, we do a heck of a lot of pruning each time. Yeah, there's a little bit of an edge there, just started, so that needs taking off. And then on to the main body here. Oh, yep, it's thick. I was planning that I would be putting this away for a few weeks, but we actually want to crack on. We started doing the boundary trees where it's just getting ridiculously dense with little trees shooting up here and there. So this will, I managed to do all the thin stuff with this and then chainsaw some of the thicker stuff. It looks like I found the main culprit of that weed tree. Quite an established thing with absolutely hundreds and hundreds of little berries on. So that's gone, but there's plenty more coming, so got to attack them. And then once it's all opened up, I'm cutting the trunks as low as I possibly can, and then hopefully be able to run through with a mower to keep on top of everything. It hasn't been drying out as quick as it should be because it's so densely populated with trees. There's no wind flow, no breeze through there. So if we can open it up, then that should help the drying out side of things. Yes, I mean, it's still going to get seriously wet in the wet season. It's not going to be perfect in terms of getting all the sap off, but it's not bad. And there's a little red thing here. There's a teeny tiny little hole in it, and that's where you spray the grease, and then the grease comes out here and lubes those roller bearings, and there's a little sort of O-ring there. Lovely jubbly. Now, next job, try and put an edge back on here. It's almost like a burr that has built up. That's much better. Okay, get ready to put this baby back together. Have to say, in all honesty, that these pruners are the best thing we ever did. by far. Just helps so much in terms of keeping on top of all the pruning. Makes a massive difference. So blade goes back on, then we've got the bearing, and there's no grease in this at the moment, but we'll put some grease in a second. Then this little tool that comes with this is Infaco, that goes on here, and this has a torque setting so that if you can hear it, can't over tighten it. Back on with the cover, then screws. So the two long screws go out here, and then there's a little Phillips head attachment in the other end of this tool. Those two, and then short dumpy one here, and then this Phillips will spin round, and then there's basically like a very small Allen screw where you can tighten up the scrub screw if you need. Don't want it over tight. So that's all that done. Go get the grease. So this is the grease that comes with the tool, and you can get replacements, lithium grease. Give it a little bit of a shake up, and then spray into that little red thing there, and I don't know if it'll show up here, but the grease should come out. Yeah, all out here. And that is these ready for the next session. And yeah, if you do have a lot of pruning, definitely worth thinking about at least. So much easier than like the loppers, because to open the jaws on the loppers you've got to open the handles, and then sometimes the branch is in the way. So these just push in, slide it to where you want, and press of a button. Well worth it, in my humble opinion. All right then, thanks very much. See you next time. Bye bye.